Well, hello YouTube. I'm Lisa and it's my channel. It's Until We Meet Again. I just wanted to provide an 8-week update on the carnivore diet. There's a couple of things that I'm noticing. I'm going to go over my diet, pain, the grief because my father passed away in July, and just a general overview. Hopefully it won't be too long. Then I do have an announcement at the end. So right now, like I said, this is week 8 and week 2 of the Lion Diet, but it's still carnivore. Now, with the Lion Diet, it's the carnivore diet is just a zero carb diet, mostly meats and fats, all animal based. The Lion Diet is a little bit strict in that regard, with just focusing on beef or ruminant animals, salt, and water. And so as far as the Lion Diet, it's been a little bit hard. It is a very strict way to eat. You have to be prepared in advance in case you run across a time where you become hungry. But the good news is that with the way I'm eating, my appetite has really changed. So the way I think, and I'm noticing a potential for true intermittent fasting, which I'm very excited about. But my typical way that I eat is that I'll have a cup of coffee, which is about 3.5 cups, and it's an Americano style, so it's espresso and hot water. And I will put a tablespoon of butter or brown butter. I have a video that I made, and some heavy cream. And I'm not putting any, I haven't put any fake sweeteners in my coffee since the beginning of August. Be thankful that I'm not doing that. That was kind of one of my favorite things to do with coffee, but I'm really enjoying it just the way it is right now. And so I have that in the morning, and I don't know if it's causing me any inflammation issues or problems. I haven't seen anything increase or decrease with the way my body feels. Okay, so as far as the appetite eating that I'm doing, the way my body, maybe it's just what my body is getting used to, or functioning, or how it's functioning. Now just a real quick recap. I used to be a vegan. I was a vegan for almost 7 years. And I was always hungry. I was always tired. I was ravenous, had hypoglycemia. I couldn't be satiated. And so this kind of turned into, I would say, a food addiction. So I went keto, and then I went off keto, and then I went to the regular. I wasn't a vegan anymore when I went keto in July of 2022, but I went off keto after 6 months of it, 6 months of being successful on it. But I went off of it because I went on vacation and I didn't plan, I didn't think. So anyway, after that, I just dove right into just the regular SAD diet, standard American diet, was magnified because at that point I was no longer vegan. So I started eating other foods like McDonald's and fast foods and donuts and ice cream, and just things that I was really particular about when I was a vegan. So neuropathy came back, which had subsided on the keto. Pain increased more than ever. Painful elimination in the mornings in my lower bowel. Just a lot of problems and issues. So now when I'm eating on this carnivore diet 8 weeks in, once I have my cup of coffee, I'm fine, and I'm finding that I'm not hungry until anywhere from 3 to 5 in the evening. I'm not food obsessed. I'm not worrying or thinking or planning my next meal. This is new for me because I was always trying to be one step ahead of my appetite because of the hypoglycemia. And now I think I've gone in one day in the past week. I've gone probably almost till 6 in the evening without eating, and I was very tired. I do get tired, so but there's no blood sugar dropping. And the blood sugar dropping was very scary. You get jittery, you feel faint, you get dizzy, you're confused, you can't think. I don't feel like that. The feeling I get when I need to eat is I'm recognizing that empty stomach growl, which is, it's not a new thing, but it's just something that I really never had because my body was always digesting food. So that is something very noticeable. But the other thing is that I get really tired. So that's when I know I'm hungry. It's like my feet almost feel like they're in quicksand and I can't like really walk or move. So I'm like, that's when I know like it's time to eat. And so, I'll eat something really quick in my Ninja Speedy. I'll do, for example, I will do maybe uh, three mini burger patties and a couple of all beef hot dogs that I got at Costco or Sam's. It's a brand called Kielbasa. They have very little ingredients, no sugars. And I enjoy those. So that's, or I'll maybe 2 T-bone steaks. I found that I need almost 2 T-bone steaks to satiate me as opposed to 1 ribeye. And so maybe 1 or 2 very big hamburger patties, which I think is equating to about a pound of beef. So I'm finding that when I'm hungry, if I eat a pound of beef, that will sustain me like through the rest of the day. And sometimes I might not even feel like eating the rest of the day, or sometimes I'll have a small snack, maybe like a mini patty, a hamburger patty, or whatever leftover steak I didn't eat for the first meal, but it's very minimal. And then the other thing I'm doing is LMNT electrolytes, 1 to 2 packs a day, 1 unflavored and then 1 flavored. My plan is my next box that I'll order, I'll probably go more unflavored and maybe 1 flavorful one. I like the lemon habanero. That is my favorite. I'm from the Southwest. We love our green chili. We love our spicy food. I can eat very hot chili. That's just the way I grew up, and I really miss that. Benefits of not eating vegetables and things like that with like the absence of neuropathy encourages me to continue eating this way and not being so nostalgic for the chili or anything like that. It's hard because foods, New Mexican cuisine, or I'm a Pueblo, my heritage is I'm a Pueblo Indian or Native American, and food is really part of the culture, especially the spicy foods and stuff. And so it's kind of hard. So I just have to keep reminding myself, like, if I feel horrible in the morning. I feel awful, and I don't want to feel like that. So I'm really trying. I'm really trying in that regard. And maybe, there's something that I can do to alleviate that. And I found it in these lemon habanero element drinks, and it has stevia. It doesn't really bother me too much. I really wasn't a stevia user. I was more like a sucralose Splenda user, so it's a little different, but it's 1 pack a day, and that gives me a fix for the sweet and the spicy, and then I'm fine. And it hasn't given me any problems. The plus side is I have, a little bit of a failure to prepare mentally. A few days ago, our Pueblo had the biggest festival of the year. It's called a Pueblo Feast, and the Pueblos and the Pueblo people are very private people, and every day of the year besides this day, the Pueblo is closed to non-residents, non-Indians, non-tribal members. But on this day, the doors are open. We put on our hospitable hat, and there's vendors, there's social dances, there's lots of reunions because everybody goes back home, especially a lot of the Native Americans that live out from off the reservation, through the country, things like that. So I got a vendor's permit because I have a small business, and my mom and I we both have small businesses. We went out to, you know, vend among the people, among our Pueblo people. I did a lot of prepping as far as my business, but not too many with my diet. And I just, the items I took were, I got some boiled eggs, and I found, let's see, I don't have them right. It's called Tillamook. It's a beef jerky. Tillamook I found at Walmart. I like this beef jerky out of all of the beef jerkies because there was no sugars and no carbs, and they didn't have a lot of weird ingredients. So that's what I went with. And let me think if I took anything else. No, that's all I took. I should have air fried a steak and cut it up. I did not know how long we were going to be there. There's no, in the vending area, there was no way for me to refrigerate except with a cooler. It was going to be pretty hot. There's no trees. It's high desert, clear sky. So we packed a cooler with drinks. I took sparkling waters from Bubbly and LaCroix, so there's no sugars. I took, my mom took Gatorades, zero calorie Gatorades. That's what she likes. And let's see, water. And, oh, okay, so I made the mistake of putting a couple of Coke Zeros in the cooler. Now, the Coke Zero is the thing that I've been trying to wean myself off of since the beginning of August, and I was pretty successful until the day we went to the Pueblo. So during the day, I was fine because I had my coffee. I did my little carnivore coffee with the butter, and I was fine. And I was busy. We were setting up. We're meeting people, you know, helping customers, everything like that. I was fine. And probably about 1 p.m., I noticed that I hadn't drank anything. So I had, at that point I didn't have an appetite, but I did make an element with some sparkling water. And so that was fine. I drank it. It was awesome. And I probably was a little thirsty. I should have paid attention to that because probably about an hour later, I realized how hot it was. I mean, it was so hot. And we had a rush of people, and I had a chance to kind of, you know, take an assessment of how I was feeling and have a little sit-down break. I was standing most of the day, which is unusual given the amount of pain and just ill feeling that I have been feeling prior, you know, from the 1st of August and before. But I was, you know, standing on my feet. Anyway, I went to the cooler, and it was I just opened the cooler, and I saw a couple of ice cold Coke Zeros. And I mean, I just, you know, without even thinking about it, I popped one open and I just drank a Coke Zero. And then I drank another one. So I drank kind of 2 in a row. And then I went on with my day. So I've been feeling bad about that, but I know it was just maybe a situational thing because it was a really hot, dusty, dry heat. There's no humidity, hardly any humidity. It's dry. It's hot. You get thirsty. The sun's beating down. I mean, you know, even though we had a pretty nice canopy, and it was very windy, and I don't know, I just saw the Coke Zero, and it was almost like the old me just like so easily just set back into that, you know, grabbing something quick, easy, not good for me. And so over the past couple of days, I've just really been thinking about it and realizing that, you know, these kind of habits are bad, and they stem from, you know, years of eating bad, but, you know, and turning into like a eating disorder. And so I have to really be careful about that. I have to really be circumspect when I go places, and I can't allow, you know, the chaos around me, if there's any, or the complications of the day to get the better of me to where I just have my guard down. And I should not have put those Coke Zeros. I should not have, but I did. So anyway, I've gone on about that long enough. It was tough. I should. So anyway, for future, Carnivore Lisa is going to make a list, a plan, and leave every food or drink that I have a weakness for totally out of the picture, out of reach, out of everything. And, you know, hopefully I'll be successful the next time. I do have another event at my pueblo in October. It's not as big, but it's going to be the similar situation. So I did not end up going to eat at anyone's house. How I was so busy with this with my pop-up tent, my vending endeavor, that I didn't have enough time. And that's okay, because when you set foot into someone's home who has opened up their home for this type of festival, it is very rude not to partake in every kind of delicacy that they have, because this is a special time. It's a once in a year thing. And so I'm thankful that I didn't have time to do that. However, I was hungry around 4 o'clock. I was hungry, and I think I was even more hungry than normal because I was standing on my feet since, 7 o'clock in the morning. So my cousin was with me, and he eats very clean. He's not a carnivore. He knows what carnivore is. He's known people that were successful on it, but he's not a carnivore. We decided to go, and now there were over almost 400 vendors. It's a huge event, and some of these vendors just have, goods to sell that are not food like us, but there are food vendors. And so we figured, well, we can, hit some of the food vendors, and I would try to find something to eat, and he would as well. And so, but it was hard. At that point, at 4 o'clock, the number one there was lines at every food truck or food stand. The menu was pretty limited. It was a lot of burgers, cheeseburgers. There was fry bread, which is another type of bread that we eat here in the Southwest, and it's deep fried in oil. And and on top of that bread, it's just a very beautiful round bread about as big as a plate. And then on top of that will be, some beans with some ground beef, usually with red chili or green chili, and then, shredded lettuce, tomato, onion, and cheese. So there was a lot of that. There was tamales. There was traditional Pueblo fold-over pies, which have, different types of fillings, prune filling, or maybe cherry, or just, apple. There was beef jerky stands, but I didn't feel like beef jerky because I was eating the Tillamook, So also, let's see, there were a lot of snow cone stands, drink stands, like with lemonade and fresh juices, all sugar stuff. Let's see, what else? There were funnel cakes, that kind of like festival type food as well. So I was just kind of like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I was thinking in my mind, I'm just gonna go up to one of these stands, one that's not crowded, and just request if I could just order some patties. That's it. So I did that. I found a place. It was a food truck called Burger Bomb. It was just that same kind of menu, burgers and chips and, pop and pickles. I just asked the girl, if it was okay if I just ordered 3 burger patties. So I just ordered 3 cheeseburgers patties with just nothing, no condiments, anything. She understood me right away. She's like, yeah, we can do that. And she gave me a discounted price for the burger patties, and she gave me a ticket, and she said, okay, we'll just, I think the price was, I think she charged me like $1.50 a patty or something. And she said, okay, we'll call your number. And I just waited for my food, and they she called my number, and it was, cutely packaged in this little container, 3 cheeseburgers stacked one on top of the other. I ate my burger patties. She was so kind. She gave me a fork and 3 packs of salt, and I just put salt on there, and I ate my patties. Once I ate those patties, I was good. I didn't need to eat anything else during the day. I think I had 1 bottle of water. No, I think I had a bottle of water, and for the rest of the day. And I continued working and selling my product, and, just having fun and seeing, having reunions with people. I wanted to talk about carnivore, but it's just, I was so busy. I think I mentioned carnivore to one of my friends that I had not seen since we were in high school, and I'm 52. And she just thought it was odd, or weird. And she said, wow, that's, I wonder what PETA thinks about that, and I know about PETA being an ex-vegan, and who cares, right? I didn't say that, but that's the only thing that she said. And I wish that I had enough time to do a survey or something among the people in my tribe. It's not only people in my tribe, but it would have been a cross-section of other pueblos, because there's 19 pueblos through the Mexico, but there's other tribes as well that come to these festivals. And so maybe on the next festival, I would love to do some type of a survey or something, just to see if people have heard about it, if they would consider it, if they know about it, and maybe put, my videos on, or my YouTube channel, or just, put hashtag carnivore, look it up on YouTube or something. And maybe I'll do that in the future. At the beginning of August, my pain level was probably 9 to a 10. I was using 2 extra strength or 7-hour Tylenols with pain probably every other day. I've since really stopped that. Now, I did use Tylenol when I was at my festival, because I was on my feet all day, and so I took some, probably about 5, just to help me get through the end of the day and the cleanup that we had to do with our tent, to load it back up all into our pickup and drive it all the way back home, which is 50 miles. But other than that, I haven't really used Tylenol. And my pain level, I would say, like, for example, this morning, it's Wednesday, and 8 weeks in, I want to say my pain level is maybe a 5. I'm more comfortable with a 6, but I think it was a 5. I just, because I don't recall just that I would have this stunned feeling when I would wake up, like, what is wrong with me? I feel like I got in a car accident, or, fell down a hill, or, got beat up, or I would feel like that. I would feel horrible, just from head to toe. And I don't recall feeling like that this morning. Confidently say it's pretty close to a 5. So that's really good. My energy is really, really good. I'm going from not even wanting to do anything, just, barely walking around the house, to, I was standing from 7 to 7, I would say, on when we went a couple days ago to my festival. And I had, I would sit a few minutes here and there, but my whole objective at the festival was to sell my product, to get it out, to interact with, the people, my customers. And so my brother's a businessman, and his rule of thumb is greet everyone and stand up and, be interactive. And so that's what I tried to do. Although I'm very naturally shy, I did it, and it didn't bother me. The next day, I really didn't feel like my body had any of an impact from it. I was sunburned, though. I was sunburned, and I am kind of a little red, I can tell, but, that's what happens when you live in the desert, high desert. But so the energy level, I'm noticing that it's probably, if we do a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being low, 10 being high, it could be a 7 or an 8. I am walking about a mile on a treadmill, probably every other night with my niece when we go to Planet Fitness. And so, that's okay with me. So as far as sleep, my sleep at the beginning of August was about 4 to 5 hours of sleep. I had been coming straight from, you know, I was grieving, plus I had been a caretaker, and so my sleep was very sparse, and it was just because I was a full-time caregiver, and you know, I had a baby monitor in my dad's room because he's got that, you know, Alzheimer's. He gets up, he doesn't know where he is. He's gonna try to, you know, leave the house. He's gonna get up, he might fall. So I hardly got any sleep. And so in the grieving, I was still kind of in that mode, and so I was having trouble sleeping. But now I think my sleep, according to the little app on my phone, is averaging about 6 hours. So that's better than 4, and I'll take it, and hopefully it gets better. I snore. I don't know if it's sleep apnea, but I'm a very loud snorer. When we went on vacation, my niece was so upset with me because she didn't get any sleep because of me. So I don't know if I'm snoring. I'm gonna have to ask, or maybe get an app, or ask a family member to maybe check in on me to see if I'm snoring. I would love to not snore. I would love to not have sleep apnea if that's what it is. That's not good for my brain function, because ultimately one of my whys and on this journey and my journaling is dementia prevention, because my dad had it. So, and I know that sleep apnea is not good for brain function. So I'm hoping that that would subside. So anyway, those are all the updates that I have. It was a lot. But I'm enjoying not having to food obsess, and I'm so happy that I found this way. I don't have anybody close to me in my family or friends or, you know, colleagues or anything that I can share this experience with, and they would understand. Mom and my nieces, I don't have children, but my mom and my nieces are very supportive of me, and I'm very grateful. And and I think it's just because of everything we've been through in our family. Everybody is trying their best to manage the grieving and get on with their life and be okay with that and not let it get into depression. And so I'm very thankful that they do support me. I don't know if I would be able to do this without them. And so it's, for now, it's okay that they're not carnivore. My mom kind of leads more towards keto because she was so successful with losing a lot of weight on it. And she is considering doing BB&E with me within the next couple of days. And so I won't push her, but I will encourage her to do it. And because I'm planning on doing BB&E starting in October, just to change it up and see if that's easier for me to do than the lion diet. And maybe by then I'll have more of an appetite for eggs. Oh, I did have a boiled egg when I was at my festival, just one. Another thing is, in my prior videos, I mentioned that it was very hard for me to eat steak. Or in my past, before being a vegan, I could eat a medium or medium rare steak, and I was fine with it. That was my favorite. Once, after being a vegan, going on keto, I needed my steak to be like 100% plus well done. And I was perfectly fine with that. The steak I've been eating was, you know, it was very, very tough, but it was still palatable, and I was fine with it because I put a lot of salt on it. But anyway, with the little Ninja Speedy that I purchased, I am learning the settings, and the past 3 days, the steaks that I had while I was at home were medium or medium well, and they were delicious. And so I'm very encouraged that I am learning how to make a medium or medium well steak, and that is, I'm very happy about that. It's easier to eat, it's easier to chew, it's more palatable. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's see. So the announcement I wanted to make is that one of my favorite carnivore channels that I enjoy watching, and that I've learned a lot about the carnivore diet from, and just all around, information, is No Carb Life with Dave Mack. I love Belle Shine. She's the vegan that he has on his show every once in a while. I love her. It's almost as if I had a little bit of Belle Shine in me before all of this keto and carnivore happened, totally. So anyway, he put out this request for interviews, and I sent him an email, and he responded. And so I got an opportunity this morning to meet him and get an interview. He interviewed me, and so I believe the interview is going to come out on Friday. And so right now I have 2 subscribers, well 3, because Dave graciously followed me, which is awesome, or fangirl out, but that's awesome. He's a very, very nice man. He's very relatable. It's almost as if I know him, and almost as if he's a close friend to me. And I just feel like it's because I don't have any other outlet except on YouTube. You know, there's other people I watch on YouTube. Bella, the Steak and Butter Guy, Dante from Faringo Freedom. You know, there's so many other mores. Bill Knott. I'm very encouraged by his story. I look forward to every video. Almost like looking forward to his videos remind me of the day when there was regular TV, and you had your favorite channel and your favorite, you know, TV show, like I don't know, just whatever favorite channel, the TV show that you used to watch, you know, the A-Team, or, you know, I don't know, shows that I used to love to watch, you know. And so that's kind of the anticipation I get when Bill Knott puts a video out, because I appreciate how candid he is, how authentic he is, how humble he is, and I am so excited to see the transformation and see how his life changes. And so there's a lot of the community that I feel on the carnivore is amazing, although I've only met Dave Mack. So I'm looking forward to the interview, and you know, please feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. If you don't, that's fine. This journal and this video is just a documentation of my life on this journey to get better, and I, you know, look forward to posting. Anyway, my name is Lisa, and my channel is Until We Meet Again. And like I said, feel free to like and subscribe, and I will talk to you soon. Goodbye.
This lovelies. Oh, this is sleeping seven. Oh yes, okay, okay. I'll leave you alone. I'll leave you alone. And who's this, Bubba's? Oh my goodness, are you faking it? You were awake. Hello, Peach. Hey, Peach. Peach. Come on. Peach. He is faking it. He not asleep. What about you, Luna? Am I disturbing you? Okay, lovelies. I love your little beans. And that's the best leave me alone face I've ever seen. Let's look at those beans. Oh my goodness. 3 sleeping beauties. Luna. Luna. He's like, leave me alone, Mom.